We are Dexian, in the business for good.
We have now our next speaker for the day is a really true trailblazer. She brings a wealth of expertise in AI-driven agricultural innovation. Today, she will share insights on Agri Information Exchange Platform, AIEP, advancing AI-driven personalized agricultural solutions for smallholder farmers. Let's welcome Ms. Kirti Pandey, Mission Director at the Center for Open Societal Systems.
Thank you, Dexian team, for inviting me, and thank you, Shrivalli, and I don't see Arjun. You have been both the Dexian team, the Gates Foundation team has been a great support for the AIEP project. Yeah, the first slide highlights the number of partners. We have about 30 partners who have made this project a reality. And one of the major challenges and the learnings from the project was how to handle an ecosystem where you have multiple players. Like JB talked about taking the ecosystem together, and it's always a challenge. We tried to do it, and we feel that we were fairly successful, but yes, there were challenges to say. Let's start with what is AIEP about? We'll start with the problem statement. This was back in 2020 during COVID times when the Gates Foundation started dabbling with the idea of how AI-based advisory can benefit farmers. The reason why they were exploring this idea because there are about 1,200 plus digital solutions in the low-income countries. But most of them are not contextualized to the requirement of the farmers. They do not address the requirements in local languages, and they do not serve the needs of the digital and low literacy farmers. And the extension workers to farmer ratio is anywhere from 1 to 1,000 to 4,000 in India and across Africa. So the solutions which are available, the personalized advisory through extension workers cannot scale to multiple farmers. The cost of advisory, in-person advisory, it can range from $16 to $35. So the idea was to bring in AI to provide scalable solutions where right information can be provided to farmers at right time in the format they desire, in the channel of their choice. And with AIEP, we have tried to reduce it to somewhere about $0.18 to $2.5. This is the user journey of a farmer where an AI-driven solution caters to the requirement of farmers. So Rose needs about farming practice. She uses a feature phone. She cannot type, so she wants a voice-based advisory. She speaks to an IVR solution. Her request is responded in a conversational format by the IVR. And over time, the IVR solution profiles Rose's requirement, the farmland she holds, kind of question she has, and provides her prompts and nudges for good farming practices. This is what the potential of AI is for farmers. Imagine a smallholder farmer in Kenya getting nudges on what to do, what new practices she can adopt for agriculture. So with this, we started with the journey of AIEP, and the idea was to serve different low literacy and low digital skill groups in different geographies with personalized information in the language of their choice, using a channel of their choice, and have a common architecture and open modules which can serve agriculture as well as other sectors. I'll take you to the journey of the overall journey of AIEP. We started in May 2023, where there was a call for proposal where 100 plus applications came, out of which 30 plus was shortlisted. We conducted ideation workshop in Nairobi and Patna. Then MVP development started in November 2024, 4 cohorts with each cohort having 4 to 5 sub-partners. They run monthly sprint and report bi-weekly on their progress. And we organized the first gathering in February where many of the people in the room were present there as well. The next gathering came in Gaya where we took a stock of where we stand, that is when we started talking about integration with MicroSave, how the best advisory can feed into the government application for digital agriculture. And now the project will finally culminate in June with the last gathering happening somewhere around April in Nairobi. So one of the crucial features of AIEP was DPI and DPG approach. Well, DPI is digital public infrastructure, but JB just told me that let's talk about it as digital permanent infrastructure because it enables bringing together various ecosystems, various players. Anurod was just talking about integrating solutions, integrating with Samagra's farmer passbook, and potentially integrating with AIEP as well. So how do we build DPGs and how do we build a DPIs where multiple DPGs can come in together? So AIEP was built to enable access to high-valued information. We have partnered with research institutions like CGIAR who are providing high-quality content, automating the information exchange flow through language tech in enabling conversational AI, not just one-way communication, but how can voice-based communication become conversational so that it seems very natural and as the farmers are speaking to their peers. And yes, empowering the smallholder farmers and extension workers. The critical modules of AIEP have been the data and content because without reliable data, advisory is meaningless. Having an information exchange which can personalize content for the farmers, and definitely a UI UX which is acceptable to the farmers. So channels are also multiple which we cater. We have WhatsApp-based bot, and web applications, mobile applications, as well as IVR applications. The theory of change that AIEP looks at is farmer faces a problem, they reach out to a AIEP channel, they receive a response, and the response leads to a behavior change. To validate our theory, we are working with 60 Decibel, who's doing a study on the impact the project has had on the farmers. The various indicators they use are to evaluate the impact of the solution. It's the number of weekly users, retention rate, percentage successful advisory, satisfaction score, and there are tech indicators to evaluate their language models. These are the 4 cohorts which are actually on the field deploying their solutions. The first one is DINAG, led by International Rice Research Institute. Dexian is a very critical part of it. DINAG has a chatbot and an IVR solution, and they've done great work on collecting local language data in Bihar, especially in Maithili and Bhojpuri, and will be very soon making it publicly available for others to develop their small language models. Then Digital Green, along with GUI and Karya, as well as Grambani, have now transitioned to a mobile application called Farmer Chat. They have done a lot of work on building a RAG pipeline and pest detection solution. There's a Plantix integration which is in place. Viamo, which is an IVR provider, has worked with Harvest Plus and created a solution, customized solution, their IVR for agriculture advisory. And they provide services in English, Hindi, and Swahili. Tech for Her, led by Dehat and Dalberg, has a WhatsApp chatbot and as well as an IVR solution. So they provide services for livestock in Kenya and different crops in Bihar. Their USP is they have built a AI-based video soil health advisory tool. I'm sure Nikhil will be introducing it. I'll now get to some of the key learnings that we have gained from AIEP. So in agriculture, the requirements are quite diverse. Farmers need advisory on their planting techniques, inputs that is required, soil health, pest management, markets, so on and so forth. And trust of advisory is very critical. A government-based advisory is always trusted by farmers, and a private advisory may not have that amount of trust with farmers. And the amount of benefit that goes from AI advisory is disproportionate. During our surveys, we found that women feel more confident from the advisory. That could possibly be because of because of the social fabric in the geographies we serve, like Bihar and Kenya. And the questions that women ask are quite different from what are asked by men. So there is a lot of learning to the approach for women farmers and male farmers needs to be different. And how do we access these information? So farmers want they want flexibility on channels. Women prefer voice-based communication, while men are okay to type. Local language is important, and especially for the elderlies or women. Conversational interfaces is very important. In IVRS solution, we always find a problem of latency, which leads to drop-offs, and the query is never complete. User acquisition is still uncertain. We have assisted acquisition of user in Kenya. Radio campaigns were a successful way of acquiring the users, but what's the best way of acquiring users? It's still unclear. I'll share more. We have Ignite talks, so most of our cohorts will talk about their tech architecture, but primarily the language solution works in a voice-based query comes to the application, there's speech recognition, machine translation happens, then the query is classified to search the right content, and through some certain track pipelines and speech synthesis, the outcome is delivered to the farmers. So what does the technology enable? Technology provides a clear source of information. With RAG, we can provide contextualized solution to farmers who have in a format that is comprehensible to them. Enabling various channels ensures that the responses and we enable various channels. So we have our modules integrated with IVR, we have our modules integrated with WhatsApp, although the cost is varying in different channels. Local language solutions are available, but it's still not successful. Speech detection for local languages like Bhojpuri, it's still not up to the mark. The accuracy levels are not very promising. Conversational interfaces, we have made some progress, but latency remains an issue, so which leads to drop-offs. And lastly, content is very important. So we need to have validated content. We need to continuously work on improving the content so that we have advisory which is relevant to the farmers. This is the last slide, what comes next in tech? Well, the OpenAI and GPT have made some advances in small and low resource languages, but we are still not there. Speech recognition is improving, but whether we understand the colloquial languages, no. Especially at the ground level, there are different, very unique terms for pesticides, etc. So that's still a far dream. Machine translation is still not there to translate the local languages to our requirement. We hope with Agentic RAG, we will be able to provide more contextualized advisory to the farmers. The gaps between the open and proprietary model accuracy is growing. So we need to reflect how we can make more and more data available to improve the open source models. With this, I will close this and leave it to the cohorts who will be presenting in the Ignite talks. And since JB has requested me to talk about Open AgriNet, I'll just briefly touch upon that as well. I don't have slides for it. So this is the perfect, I think we have been working with Vital Waves and World Bank on releasing a DPI for agriculture publication. And they requested us for a community meetup. And I told them, see, this is happening in 11th Feb in Chennai, and it's way better than what we can do in a community meetup. So I take this opportunity to invite everybody, the Dexian team, Microsave team, Samagra, and everyone else in the room who have done great work in states like Bihar, Odisha, and with Open AgriNet, we want to create scalable modules. We want to invite all of you. We can have a discussion, focus group discussion very soon. Maybe the question Q&A round can help with that. So inviting everyone, and let's build open source modules which can be scaled, let's come up with digital toolkits, operational toolkits, which can be implemented in different states, different countries, and yeah, let's make digital agriculture truly collaborative. Thank you.
We are Dexian. In the business for good.